to stay. On your path the truth unfolds, guides will whisper stories told. Let your journey now begin, in the magic let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome in everyone. I know you guys are not used to seeing me on Saturdays, but here I am. We're just gonna have a normal live stream tonight. I don't know how long I'll be on. I mean, if it's busy, then I'll stay around, and if not, I'll get off, so we'll see. But pre-orders are open, so if anybody is interested in donating tonight, you can do that. I went live like kind of last minute, so we don't have any pre-orders right now, but that's good news for you guys because that means that you won't have a long wait as it stands right now if you do donate. We're going to go ahead and get started on the free yes no here soon. Welcome in everyone. Hello, hello. Sophie. So I have on my disclaimer that I don't answer questions in regards to like legal or financial issues, etc., etc. So this would fall under that category. However, I'll pull a card for you. We'll just see what it says, okay? All right. I have a no. I have the 9 of Swords. Boss Lady. Boss Lady, I have a no. 7 of Cups. Gemini. Off and on. Yes, off and on. On Oh, that was the Eight of Pentacles, by the way. Anna, I have a no. I have the Five of Cups. All right, guys. So just a reminder of my disclaimer. Make sure you all are reading that. Because I find lately people are asking a lot of questions that I typically don't answer questions on. I will pull a card for you, Ocean Summer, but just refrain from those moving forward. I don't answer regarding legal, financial, health, medical, psychiatric concerns, or death dates. I accept a lot of other options: love, career, life purpose, pregnancy, spiritual, etc., etc. Okay. Ocean Summer. See what card we get for you. I have a yes, the Empress for Ocean Summer. Space Cowboy. I would say you have talent, Space Cowboy, but this isn't like your purpose in life. I have the Six of Swords. So you have natural talent, but I'm comparing this to people who are meant to do this in this life, and I don't feel like that's exactly you. I think you can probably combine your intellect with your artistic and creative mind and maybe do something else. But if you're wanting to know, like, are you an artist in any capacity or art form, I feel like you have talent there. I just don't think it's what you're supposed to be doing. CB. And that was the Six of Swords. CB, yes. Eight of Pentacles. Maybe someone at work, or someone, if you go to like school, if you go to college, something like another student, or basically like your day-to-day life is what it feels like how you'll meet them. Deisha, I have a yes, a lot of wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups. Welcome in, everyone. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Bake, make sure you're only posting one question at a time. Okay? I'm only going to answer the first question that you post. Come on, guys. I know it's Saturday, but y'all have been here before. You should know better than this. All right, Bake, am I on the right path? Yes, I have the Knight of Cups for you. Amy. Oh, you saw Aaron today. Yay. I have a yes for you, Amy, the Sun. Ari. have a yes, the Ace of Cups for Ari. Diamond Girl, I'm getting a yes for you. 9 of Wands. Nyasia. How are you, Nyasia? Hope you're doing good. Will you marry your partner? Yes, 6 of Wands. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're doing one question per person. Please make sure y'all are liking the live stream. Bake, it's okay. It's not like the end of the world. It's just I work out of StreamYard, and so every time you post a question or a comment, even if you delete it over on YouTube, I still have that comment. So it can get very confusing for me as to what question you want me to answer because I don't see on my end that you've deleted your question. So just make sure that you're thinking through your question and then post that question and like let that be that. I don't do more than one question per person. So just be very mindful of like the fact that once you post that is the question that's set in stone for you, okay? I'm not trying to be like a jerk today or anything. I just it can get frustrating over time. And then also just I'm not to pile on to you, but other people were asking questions that I typically don't answer for. So like if you guys can just take a minute to read my disclaimer, understand, you know, how I do things over here. That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't just to target you specifically. I've just had multiple people today. Cherry Blossom, welcome in. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ari. Shavena, if you want to ask a yes-no question, I'll answer it for you, but it has to be a yes-no format. If you're waiting on a yes-no question, make sure that you've liked the live stream, had the opportunity to do that for me. It's the only thing I ask in exchange for a free rating. And then also, if you're on the way out, please make sure you've hit that like. Shavena, just type your yes-no question for me, okay? All right, nannies. I have a no, the death card for you. Shavena, I have your question. Got it. Thank you. I'll be right with you. For everyone else, the free list is closed. We'll be moving on to donations shortly. I have a yes, sweeter, the Page of Cups for you. Jano. I have a yes. 10 of Cups. This is a really great card for that. Cherry Blossom. Yes, Ace of Swords. Rosie. Rosie, I have a yes for you. King of Wands. Diana, let's see. I have a yes. Four of Pentacles. Naija, weird day. It is a little weird. It's weird for me too. Good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Queen. I have a no for that question. I have the Hanged Man. Shavena, I have a yes. Queen of Wands. I will message you later because you were so right. Oh my gosh. Yes, please update me. What's going on? You're welcome, Cherry Blossom. Have a great day. You're welcome, everyone. All right. Awesome. Let's go ahead and update the donation list real quick, and then we're going to get started. Nyasia, you're first on the list. I have you down for a BOGO, it looks like. You're welcome, Shavena. Sag Girl and Earth Angel, my free list is closed for the night, so sorry. If you want to donate, donations are open. It's $5 for a yes/no question. Unless you want elaboration on that, then it's $8. You're welcome. Dorella, I'm taking questions for donations, but the free list is closed. I am Nyasia because I work nights. I woke up not that long ago. It was like 4 o'clock, I think, because I don't go to bed until like 8 in the morning. like we get ready for bed around 4:35, but I don't know, I just sometimes can't go to sleep right away. So anyways, I sleep during the day. So it basically just started for me. Like 3.5 hours ago. But so far so good. That's why I go live so late in the night usually, is just because I'm not waking up until later in the day. Hopefully that will change at some point, but I work better at night, so I'm more nocturnal anyways, so it works out for me for now. I just hate missing the sun. If we're still on this schedule, I'm gonna be excited when the time change happens so that I'll have more daylight. Hey Amy. I got it. Thanks, Amy. You'll be after SB, okay? Yeah, we keep a schedule. My husband is on the same schedule as me, basically. He wakes up a little bit earlier than me, and I go to bed a little bit later than him. But I'm on his schedule because it's better for live streams and it's better for our time together so that we don't feel like two ships passing in the night. So normally I'm sleeping like from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. generally. Some nights are a little off for me. Sometimes I wake up earlier, sometimes I go to sleep later, but we try to go to bed around the same time. Yeah, it's going okay. I mean, they say back in times where, you had to have people keep watch at night, that there's certain people that were meant to be up at night and some people that were meant to be up during the day. And I'm one of those people that were supposed to be up at night. Maybe it's in my DNA to keep watch in my lineage, to like be up in the evenings when everyone else is sleeping to make sure that we're safe. So it's like the world needs people like me. And so even though like my schedule's different from everyone else and that feels weird, it makes me feel like if it works for us, then that's fine too. But I'll be fine going back to a regular schedule as well if we ever get to that point too. That's fine with me. Yeah, I'm nocturnal. I'm more productive at night. My free list is closed, guys. You'll have to come back, or if you want to donate, you can. It's $5. Okay? Yeah, it's okay for now. All right, so Naija, I'm hearing that well, I already see your second question, so it's kind of making me lean towards doing that one first, but I'll try to focus on the first question. But the first thing I want to let you know is that this funk that you're sensing about this person is temporary. That's what they're showing me. Okay, I have the Seven of Swords. It's come out twice. I put it back in the deck and it came out again. What does she need to know about her relationship? So the Seven of Swords talks about trying to keep something from the other person. It's not necessarily infidelity. It's not necessarily cheating, okay? But it just means that you or him or both of you are just keeping something under wraps, keeping something from the other person. And this could just literally be your feelings. It can be that he's having a hard time opening up to you and expressing what he's thinking. Maybe he's struggling or having a hard time mentally, like mental health wise, and he's just not opening up to you about this. Um, it kind of indicates that he kind of wants to like hermit out, like he just kind of wants to be on his own sometimes and just kind of go off and do his own thing. Um, the Seven of Swords talks about like strategy and resourcefulness and flexibility and the need for these things. And it also talks about escaping connection. So it's almost like he's trying to hibernate away. And that doesn't necessarily mean physically either. It could just be mentally. He's just, like you said, shutting down. So, this can be hard probably for anyone, but to be the partner of someone who's struggling with their mental health, it can be difficult. But I think that what he needs to feel is inspiration. He needs to feel something to be excited about. Inspiration, I feel, is like the key to life. I think it's the key to power. And I think that when we're not feeling inspired, we are feeling very down on ourselves because inspiration leads to the feeling of fulfillment and feeling like you have a purpose. And when you feel like you are just disappointed, so yeah, I don't know if there's like something he can take up, some kind of hobby he can do, maybe encouraging him to like get out and play some kind of sport if he's interested in that, or something to kind of get himself up and out. That would be really good for him. I think also reconnecting to each other is going to be important because he needs to feel like even if he's down and out, that you're still here supporting him, like for better for worse, if that makes sense. Even though you guys aren't married, I don't think. But no, you asked me. Yeah, so you're not married. But like just that kind of vibe, because we need to feel like we're accepted at all times. If we're having a hormone imbalance, if we're sick, if we're having like a rough seasonal depression, if we've gained weight, if we've lost weight, like we need to feel that we're accepted in any form that could happen, because he needs to feel that reassurance and that encouragement from you for that. But I can assume that it's very hard for you as well. It's hard when you're with someone who's having a bad day. It's hard to be around that person for one day, let alone weeks or months on end. So I also feel for you in that situation as well. And also knowing like it's not your job to fix everything. I know that you're solution oriented and you want to kind of shake things up. If you feel like his mood could be influenced by you, use that as your superpower to try to fix the situation and make things better. But know that it's not your responsibility either. The only thing that is your responsibility is just making sure he knows that you're there and you're not going anywhere. Outside of that, this is something that he has to figure out on his own. So only take on his moods and his demeanor and his mindset when you feel like it's something you can handle and you have the capacity to handle it. But outside of that, you shouldn't be taking it on. That's something that happens with empaths as well, is that we tend to like associate someone else's feelings with our own and we take that on. And I think that anybody honestly can be an empath, but I think certain people are more naturally tapped in. And I think also, depending on the person, there's empaths out there that can sense anyone's emotions. And then there's empaths that really are just like it's like trauma based. And it's with the people close in their life and they're in their inner circle because they can notice energy shifts. Hey, honey, do you mind getting me some water? You said definitely an empath. Yeah, he needs to get out of the house. Thanks, baby. Yeah, he needs to get out of the house. He needs to get out, get moving. There's stagnant energy within him, I'm sure, that needs to be kind of shaken up. I think really he's up and down a lot. Would he be willing to try something new, like different modalities to try to figure out, like, for example, first and foremost, he needs to get blood work done. He needs to go to a primary care and explain his situation and find out if it's nutritional, something that he's lacking in his body that's making him feel this way. And then, and also like hormones and things like that, they can run tests to see how his body is functioning. And if we find out that he has good levels and he's not deficient in anything, then we go to a psychological standpoint. And then if it's not psychological and not anatomical, then we go to an energetic standpoint and we figure that out. He would do well with just getting movement, honestly. And again, I'm leaning into the second question again, but I think almost like these are combined questions. So I'm kind of, because what's happening is the spirit wants you to understand about your relationship and also how to help him. And it's kind of the same thing right now because that's honestly the main issue. So I'm just going to spend a little bit more time talking about this. Now, you've been harassing him about blood work. Yeah. It's hard to get guys to get blood work done. It's hard to get them to go get anything done. Um, Especially if there's like a fear of needles or something. Yeah, you're welcome. Now, one thing I will say that's helped me, that's just really just advice, but for some reason I'm being led to like tell you. Um, Brennan got me a vibration plate for Christmas. And it's basically this device that just works with your lymphatic drainage and circulation, and it stimulates your vagus nerve because it's like shaking you. And you basically stand on it. You might have seen it on TikTok, but you just stand on it, and there's different like intensities. And I have noticed my anxiety go way down whenever I feel like I need to recalibrate. I just jump on that baby. It helps with my physical pain and ailments as well. People say it's like a workout, and I think that it gives you the health benefits of a workout, but it doesn't tone you or make you burn calories, if that makes sense. I think it's more of like an internal health that it helps with. It helps with circulation, it helps stimulate your nerves, it helps get blood flow, into your legs. Because I notice, like, if I'm on it for like 20 minutes, my legs are very, very hot. They're like hot and red. So I know that it's doing something. But I noticed that it really helps to just like kind of shake up the stagnant energy inside my body. And it doesn't require any effort. That's the great thing about it, is you just stand on it. It's not like you have to exhaust yourself or really think through it, or it's not like coming up with like a workout regimen or something like that. It's literally stand on it, push a button. It's so simple. And I think that whenever he's feeling it's kind of a way to self-soothe as well when you're having anxiety. It's only like $100. It's not even that bad. Um, and they might be more expensive on Amazon, I'm not sure. They call it a vibration plate or a shake plate. Yeah, looking into holistic approaches, because I think that once he gets on that and then he makes that a part of his daily routine for like 20 or 30 minutes, he's going to feel so much better. And that might kind of be able to shift him out a little bit to being more open to other things. Because it sounds like for him, he's just, you never really know. Every day is going to be different. But if he can keep that consistently, then he might be more willing to try other things as well. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Hey, Intuitive Edge, you sent for a yes/no question. I got you. I'll add you to the list. I'm going to update the list here in just a second so everyone can see where they are. Intuitive Edge, I've got you. Thank you for posting your question. I'll be with you when it's your turn, okay? So, Naija, I think just ways in which you can support him in that regard. And then really if you can just serve as a distraction as well would be really good for him. So if there's things that you can think that you guys can do together that kind of gets his mind like out of it and onto something else, that would be helpful. But again, if it's like a chemical imbalance or something, then that it's going to require further assistance, and there's not really much that you're going to be able to do for him. But I think like tapping more into connection with him, because that's what he's escaping right now, is connection, and finding ways for him to feel inspired to get up and get going and feeling purpose. What does he do for a living? Does he have like a career that he likes? Intuitive Edge. Okay, thank you. Maya, my free list is closed. I'm so sorry. I'm doing yes/no donations for $5 if you want your question answered. Otherwise, you'll have to come back next time to try the free list, okay? Hates his job. So this is going to be a also something that needs to change. I feel like that can be a big effect on his mood, because our work is like a third of our life. And if we are not happy there, it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to trickle into other areas of our life as well. I think it's very easy to fall almost depressed if we don't like the job that we're in, because we carry it home, we dread it, we count down the hours until we're not working anymore, and we find that it's less joyful in our everyday moments. He's not finding purpose here, and I think that could also be a big contribution to his mind space. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to start above all other things as well. So I'm being called to ask about his career. Let me know if you have any follow-up on this, but I think really just knowing that it's very easy for him to kind of slip away and shut down, and whatever it is that you feel that you have the capacity to do to bring him kind of back into the connection. And I think life also doesn't have to be so serious either all of the time. Like, we can do fun things, we can do playful things, we can kind of forget that, or try to kind of escape like life for a little bit, but together, so that he's not doing it by himself. Let's see. And also the other thing, the work from home part of it, does he like working from home? Because when you guys are applying for jobs, you want to make sure too that if he doesn't like that aspect, that he's not looking for a work from home job when he does his applications, because that could also be hard for some people. I thrive working from home. I thrive. Okay. My husband, he does not. He probably would be okay with like a hybrid situation, but he hated working from home. He really did. And he's much better, much happier being outside of going to work, having, because the thing is that it was like feeling like his home life and his work life were like merging into one, and he didn't like it. He felt like he didn't, like, he likes leaving the house and having a place to physically go to clock in and clock out, and then feel like his home is more like his relaxing, his like safe place, his sanctuary, to decompress. So he's flexible to work at home or person. I'm going to pick his brain. Yeah, definitely talking to him about that as well. Yeah, Naisha, you and I are the same. I'm the same way. Yeah, I thrive working from home, but not everybody's like that. I like working independently, but there's a lot of people out there that prefer to work in groups. Yeah, outside employment. I am getting a yes for your question about things improving. We have the King of Wands. So I think this is just temporary, but I know from firsthand experience how hard it can be for a relationship when one of the people or both of the people are not enjoying their job. It can be very, very hard to try to keep things strong between you. So this is temporary. Remember the beginning of the live stream, that was like the first message, is that this is temporary. But maybe there's like little things that we talked about that you can get started on with him to make him feel like he can kind of start to come out of this. And then also keep in mind, seasonal depression is a real thing, and we're working towards daylight savings again, where hopefully this isn't going to be much longer. And so if this is affecting him in a negative way, then that's another thing to look forward to as well. Independence and autonomy. Same here, girl. Same here. This definitely resonates. I'm going to strategize on how to approach this. Perfect. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, let me update the donation list really quickly because we've gotten some good donations coming through. SB is next. She posted her questions on Instagram, but SB, if you're here and want to check in with me, feel free to do so. Okay, I have a donation from someone that I believe donated yesterday, and I cannot remember their username. So if you donated on PayPal within the last like 7 minutes, let me know. Remind me of your name because I don't think it's the same name as what's on PayPal. So I have SB. Oh, the Gemini. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I'll remember that eventually. If you keep donating, I'll eventually remember. It's just I have it. I don't know. It's new. I'm still new to that. So forgive me. Yes, I remember now. Okay. So SB, then Amy, then the Intuitive Edge, then Ray, then Terry, then the Gemini. That's the list right now. Ray, thank you for the donation. The intuitive edge. So, what we're going to do for you is when we get to your turn, we're going to put your question on the screen. So, you can come back. You do not have to stick around because you gave me your question. You come back whenever you want to. And you can just scroll right to your section. If you want, I can take it further and I can even put a timestamp in the comments as well when the live stream is over, if you want me to do that. You just let me know. And then if we're still live and you find yourself available to come back in and check, just let me know and I'll let you know if we've done your reading or not, okay? All right, intuitive edge, you got it. Gemini, you're good. You're good. I will, I promise. I'll eventually remember. Because when people donate a lot, like, every couple of times that I see them, I eventually remember who it is. It's just going to take a minute for it to click for me. All right, so this is the order that we have right now. If you want to skip the line, you can do that. It's $5 to skip ahead. We don't have any pre-orders right now, which means that you can move to the top of the list. I'm working on SB now, but if you want to donate, you can move up after SB. If you are worried about losing your place in line due to a skip, you can donate $5 to hold your place as well. If you are not able to stick around, don't care about how long it takes to get to your turn, you just want to leave your question with me and leave, that also works as well. And then, of course, you have the option to just stay around until it's your turn. So, couple of options there for you. If you pay to skip, please let me know as soon as possible so that way I can make sure I move you to the rightful place in line. We're going to go ahead and get started with SB. Okay, SB, shuffling for you now. So the first message that's coming in, SB, is transformation. So it's like you're going to walk into this date and you're going to leave feeling like something big has happened. Like you understand where you want this to go. I feel like you get a lot of information on this date that lets you know what direction you guys are heading. And I think sometimes after first dates, we can feel still a little confused. Like we walk away and we go, that was good. I feel like I need more information. So I'm excited for the next date to see what happens. But I think that this type of date, you kind of just know. You just have a gut feeling of what's going to happen here and what you want from this. So the first card is death. So that talks about like a transformative date, something where I feel like you get a lot of information and you walk out differently than you walk in. So maybe you are put to ease very quickly. Maybe you're not so nervous right away, but like I feel like something big happens either while you're on the date or just before the date is over or something like that. That just feels like a big change, a big shift. Something has changed you even. I have the Page of Wands. So this is like a fiery energy. This is a card of attraction and feeling very energetic and excited. feeling optimistic about the date as well. And maybe while you're on it, really just enjoying it overall. This is the card of like being a performer or an entertainer. So it's very likely that the date is going to have lively conversation, maybe even jokes, being a little comedian, just having a lot of fun together. We have Two of Cups, which talks about a love match. So this would indicate to me that you guys are going to hit it off pretty well. I think that I think it goes really good. I think it goes really well, SB. I think you enjoy yourself, and I think that you feel that you've made a connection here. I feel like you walk away feeling very engaged, feeling like the feelings are mutual, and just desiring to get to know this person even more. The Star, which by the way, you have like multiple major arcana cards coming through, which as I tell everyone, it signifies major life themes. So whenever I see a lot of or heavy major arcana influence in a reading, it just means this person's supposed to make like a big impression here. There's supposed to be like a big deal, that this person might have hold significant place in your life, that kind of thing. The Star, it talks about feeling like maybe you have this sense of restarting anew. The Star is like a renewal. It's almost like a baptism. It's like you have a fresh start, basically. So maybe you feel that way with this person, and then maybe he feels this way with you as well. It just gives you like hope and excitement for the future. I think you guys talk plans as well for what you could possibly be doing next. Maybe even some suggestions on where you could go if you guys have a second date. The Three of Wands just kind of talks a little bit about the future. So maybe second date plans are secured while you're still on the first date, or maybe he's talking to you about places that have you been here, have you been there, and he's gathering intel and information about like where to take you next. We also have the World here, which showed up last night, and that indicates that you feel very complete walking away from this date. The Wheel of Fortune signifies like soulmates, cycles, good luck, destiny, fate, things like that. And almost like a turning point in the relationship as well. I have the message here, secrets, again, the Seven of Swords, like kind of wanting to keep you to himself. So maybe looking for some type of privacy or intimacy on this date might happen. But I feel just a lot of progress moving forward. We have the Eight of Wands. The message to temper yourself is here. So there may be a really strong physical attraction to each other, but you'll have to kind of hold back and have some self-discipline. To answer your second question, let me get shuffling real quick. So first and foremost, he's going to just follow his instincts. That's his intention. He's just going to follow what feels natural, what feels right. Like the messages here, like maybe not force things. I don't know. I'm hearing the word force. So I feel like he just kind of wants there to be this organic way about your date. I think he wants to do what feels right. So he's not going to like reach for your hand or something like that, if that feels forced, if that feels uncomfortable, if that doesn't feel like it makes sense for your connection. But he's just going to let things happen. I just don't think he's coming, honestly, with any kind of game plan besides really having a good time and enjoying each other. Major Arcana coming through again multiple times. We have the Strength card, so this indicates that there's a really good flow, I feel, because the Strength card talks about like being able to influence each other in a very positive way. So maybe bringing out the best in each other. We also have the Lovers here, which again talks about soulmates and kindred spirits. So there might be a lot more that will be discovered on this date. And I think he's looking forward to making a good impression. I think that's another intention for him. I think he is going to want to see if like this is the real deal, if this is something that could potentially turn into a relationship for him. I think he's just eager to like learn more about you as well. I think he's going to try not to show that he's nervous, but he seems to have a little bit of charm about him that he might bring like the obvious to the forefront. So he may state the obvious and be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous, you know, but somehow he says it in a very charming way that makes you feel like immediately at ease and immediately more comfortable. And I feel like generally he just kind of wants to take the lead. I feel like he wants to be in his masculine energy. He wants to kind of show his chivalrous, respectful, like gentlemanly side, I suppose. And just kind of like lead the date, but also paying close consideration to what it is you want or what it is that you want to do. I think also he'll pay for the date as well. So that is what I've got, SB. Let me pull some channeled message cards for you, and then you'll be all set. Amy, if you want to go ahead. Oh, wait. No, never mind. You posted your question on Instagram. I forgot. Okay. So Amy is next. Amy, if you're here, you can check in with me. You make me feel very comfortable, is what he says. You make me feel comfortable. You make me nervous. So maybe you make him feel both things. So there's a sense of warmth that you bring to the dynamic. You're very, very welcoming. But I think he gets nervous, but also he feels that comfort as well. It says, I'm secretly longing for you. My soul recognizes your soul. There's an instant recognition and a sense of familiarity. You are special to me. He says, I'm a bit on guard. So I wouldn't say that he's guarded, but I would say he's kind of on guard, meaning that he's very alert. He's very aware as to like what's going on. He may even be like, yeah, a bit nervous right now as he gets ready for you guys' date. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have, I want to be close to you. So SB, that is all for your reading. I hope you have fun tonight. And hopefully this all resonates for you when everything is said and done. Amy, if you're here, check in with me, please. Yeah. All right, I don't think Amy is here, but she left her questions with me on Instagram, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The American cheese that's in there is for the queso that I'm going to make with the nachos. But there's provolone, Colby Jack, and the Munster, yeah. Amy, I just read your question. You're so funny. All right, I'm gonna get the Light Seers deck for your question because the Light Seers is like modern day types of images, so I feel like I'll get a little bit more info that I need to get for your question. All right, so we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is the alpha male. Like, I look at the King of Wands as someone who's kind of puffing out his chest, kind of peacocking, trying to show off. So I view this as him. I view this as him wanting to be noticed by you, but at the same time, it's also an interpretation would be that because the way you framed your question, that he may also felt this about you too, that you were kind of coming like all dolled up, looking really good, and like trying to claim attention. But alpha males are like the kind of people that want to lead, want to be noticed, want attention. They're the best of the best. Sorry, my husband's making me laugh. Let's see. What else? Is something about adornment. So it's reminding me of like an ornament or like an accessory. So maybe however it was that you were dressed, like what you were wearing, it felt like very well accessorized, like you were well put together. It definitely feels kind of show-offy, but at the same time, it was like letting you have your moment. And I feel like he like enjoyed paying attention to you, but for some reason, I'm getting the feeling that he kind of stayed independent from you at the same time. Like he engaged with you, but it feels very like he's like a wallflower. Like I'm getting that it was more so keeping the distance, maybe out of nervousness. I'm not quite sure. Not that he's not talking to you or anything, but it just feels like he's just more in observation mode. I do have the Knight of Cups, so this is definitely feeling attraction for you in a romantic sense. Also very Leo energy here in this reading, by the way. I think he's kind of gearing up to maybe trying to figure out how to ask you out. Maybe try to spend more time with you one on one. I feel like he needs one more group gathering first. And then I think he'll get the courage to talk to you. He's like, if things keep going like this and we like get together one more time with our friends, then I think I will finally get the nerve to maybe ask her out. Oh wow, okay, I totally missed this. We have the death and rebirth card. So this is telling me a significant change. I don't know if you were here for you weren't I don't think you were here for SB's reading because you're not here now, but in SB's reading I was talking about how she's going to leave a changed person. So I feel like he's definitely looking at you differently now that you're all put together and feeling yourself, feeling more confident. I think this definitely like really kind of shifted his perspective of you. There was like feelings of interest when you guys first met, but it was more so just like it wasn't like an initial spark, if that makes sense. And I feel like this really changed things for him. So you talked about how you were dressed a little provocatively. He was definitely taking notice of this for sure with the Two of Pentacles here. Just more information on him being a little bit in observation mode or on guard. I think he felt like he wasn't really sure how to engage with you, to be honest. I think he maybe kept trying to find like an opening, a way to communicate, maybe hoping that his friends would bring him more into the conversation with you. But then the Five of Pentacles indicates that you were kind of standing out. Were you wearing like a skirt? And like, so this picture talks, like it shows, like very leggy, but I don't know, because I feel like you would have told me if that was the case. It's like maybe stockings. I'm hearing stockings or leggings for some reason. Your hair is down, maybe half up, half down. I don't know. But the Six of Wands and like I'm seeing like I don't know. It sounds so crazy. Like a teddy coat, like a fluffy jacket or a jacket of some sort. But it just kind of indicates that you were kind of the center of attention to him. So if you didn't feel like the center of attention to the group, I feel like he was paying a lot of attention to you. So you were the center of his attention at that time. So yeah, that is what I have, Amy. Let me know if you come back. You can send me a message if you have any questions about what I said. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next person. We are rocking and rolling through this list, guys. Next up, we have the Intuitive Edge. I know Intuitive Edge said that they didn't have a lot of time. But Intuitive Edge, if you are here, I am working on your question now, okay? Amy, it just felt, I'm getting like you were dressed very like cozy. Intuitive Edge, check in with me, please. Let me know if you're here. So Intuitive Edge, with what you donated for, this is just a yes, no for you without elaboration. Next time, if you want more information or go more in depth, donate at least $8 because that's a mini reading. All right, Intuitive Edge, I am getting a yes. I have the Page of Swords. If you need any information on this, just do a quick Google search and you can look up Page of Swords in regards to a love question, and you should be able to get more information on it. So that is what I have for you. Thank you for your donation. We are going to move on to Ray. Oh, and it looks like Deep also donated as well. So we're going to add Deep to the list. Culture, thank you for the donation. Ray, please check in. Hey, Ray. So this is again, yes, no, no elaboration. Ray, I have a yes for you. I have the Four of Cups. Okay? Four of Cups. You're welcome. All right. Next on the list, we have Terry. Terry, if you're here, check in with me, please. Hey, SB. We're going to give Terry another minute or so, and then we'll move on to the next person. Can I have the Gemini check in with me just so I know you're here? Anita, hey there. I have a scrolling banner on the screen right now. The free list is closed for the night. If you want a yes no question, it's $5. All right, we're going to get started on the Gemini now. Terry, if you get here, please check in with your question. For now, this is for the Gemini. Hey, Intuitive Edge, we just did your question. Scroll back about 8 minutes on this live stream. Scroll back about 8 minutes. I think I got started with yours around like an hour, 10 minutes, something like that. So just scroll back and you'll see your question on the screen. All right, so for the Gemini, to answer your question, I have a yes. I do feel like this person is going to give to the other person that you are asking about. I have the High Priestess, which just means your intuition is correct. And I also have the Eight of Wands, which talks about movement. And basically what this indicates to me is that maybe the Sag is moving in on this person or something. And maybe like all signs point to her right now. Let me see if there's going to be gifts for anyone else. I'm getting a maybe, but it seems like this is more secretive, if that makes sense. So I feel like maybe the person that you mentioned in your question is the main person, but there could be someone else as well, but it feels more under wraps. It feels more like in secret, if that makes sense. It feels like, I don't know. I have the Seven of Swords that typically can talk about kind of hiding something. Maybe it's a surprise. Maybe hiding means a surprise. Maybe it's something that's going to be kind of left in somewhere, like a secret admirer, like a mailbox or a front doorstep or something, or at someone's desk, so on and so forth. It feels like this is just more a quieter gift. I wish you were here so we could elaborate this a little bit further, I feel like the Sag wants to make a good impression on this other person you're asking about. I feel like the Sag is like wanting to like make this person's day, make them happy. Maybe this other person hasn't really given them the time of day. So I feel like they're trying to make like some kind of grand gesture, so to speak. I do think that there's a attraction. Oh hey there. I if you want to scroll back to when I first got started, I want you to listen to what I said, and then I want to know if you can elaborate a little bit more on this for me. She's been posting. Oh, okay, she's been posting on social media. They're good, so I don't see why she wouldn't be giving the time of day. Maybe she's just making him work for it. It's something like that. It feels like it's like she wants him to show up for her in a very like grand gesture kind of way. She seems like she has high expectations. But yeah, what I was saying was I do feel like this is a love connection, like a romantic connection between these two people because I have the Two of Cups. So there was the other message that I got was that because you had asked if he's going to show up for anyone else, and I got a yes, but I said that that was more in hide, like in secret. It felt more under wraps. It felt more on the down low. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's working two different people right now, to be honest. I feel like you're getting yourself caught in some kind of love triangle situation. I'm pulling some messages for you right now from your person. I'm going to pull a couple extra messages for you as well, just because you donated a little extra, okay? All right, so he says, yeah, of course, of course. He says that he dreams about you. He says, I dream about you and it feels like you don't care. He says, I'm secretly longing for you, but I'm trying to move on. He says, this isn't in your head. I feel it too. Being vulnerable doesn't come easy to me. I want to do the right thing. My actions aren't aligning with how I actually feel. I feel your energy. This is on me, not you. I made a mistake. And at the bottom of the deck, he says, I'm just so confused. Should I do care? I pulled my energy back because of this. It's a mess. All resonated though. And he's confused because he's confusing. His messages to me definitely contradicts his actions. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. There's actually the card where it says his actions aren't aligning. He's saying my actions aren't aligning with how I actually feel. So it means that deep down inside he feels a certain way, but his actions towards you are showing something different. That's why a lot of like tarot readers will do pick a card readings and they'll do like his actions towards you and then he'll do his feelings towards you, because just because you think about doing something doesn't mean you're actually going to. You can think every single day that you need to go to the gym, but that doesn't mean you're actually going to take action and actually go to the gym. So we think a lot of things in our mind that don't necessarily correlate with how we're actually showing up for people. So that's why we have to distinguish the difference. But he is admitting to that or acknowledging that in those cards. It is. It's confusing. But sometimes, Gemini, it doesn't have to do with like you specifically. Hey Terry, can you drop your question for me, please? Um it's not really like a you problem. It's a him problem, because there's could be underlying issues with him as to why he feels he needs to do this. Sometimes people feel pressured from other people. Maybe you're his type and you're everything that he wants, but maybe he feels pressure from friends to go for something different. He could feel pressure from family for something different. He can be confused himself as to what he wants. Maybe he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Maybe he wants an ego boost, and so he's going for someone who's maybe easier to get. Which, I truthfully don't know. These are again just like circumstances and like ways to try to understand the situation. But from my experience, if someone wants you, someone wants to see you, someone wants to be with you, they will show up and they will do that. So personally, I wouldn't really waste time on people who are confusing, because it's just not worth it. There's just way too many other people out there that will actually make you worth their time. So, and they'll be worth your time. Naisha. Oh, that's okay. I think you said goodnight. I thought you said goodnight. Have a wonderful night. Talk to my man. He's excited for a strategy session. Yay! You're going to do it at Wendy's. Look, that's what you said. You said you were going to make it really creative, and I love that. You're giving him food and making him excited about it. That's so funny. I love it. I'm happy to hear that he's excited, because that seems to be something that's hard for him to come by these days. So really, really happy to hear it. So Gemini, that's what I've got for you, friend. Thank you for your donation tonight. I appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and get started on Terry. Terry, no need to apologize at all. If you're not here when it's your turn, it's really not a problem. I'll just move on to the next person. You just run the risk of having to wait longer for your turn, or like waiting for me to come back next time to do your reading. So it's all good. And if ever that happens again, Terry, too, I know that was unexpected, but you can always leave your question with me as well to avoid that from happening. All right, Naisha, have a good night. Thanks for coming back in. The Gemini says that makes sense, and you are correct. He knows he can't have it easy here. Yeah, good night. You're welcome, the Gemini. I'm happy to hear that this resonated for you to some extent. Hopefully this provides some clarity for you moving forward. All right, Terry, let's have a look here. All right, after Terry, we have culture, and then that's it for my list for the night. I'm not going to close it down, so if anybody else wants to donate, I'm open to it, but it might just come to a natural close as well, so we'll see. I would just recommend, if you plan on donating, getting that in soon, because I'll probably be signing off here in the next 15-20 minutes if everything goes how I think it's going to go. All right, Terry. This is making him feel discouraged. I feel like he's feeling pushed out by you. Not that he doesn't feel that he is undeserving of this treatment, but he feels discouraged about it. And he feels like, the message is you're breaking my heart, but I don't know. I feel like he's just very disappointed about this. And it's like inside he feels like he deserves this from you, but at the same time, I think he wishes that this still wouldn't happen. You're the empress to him. So, it's resonating again tonight that you are his wife. You're the person he views as his woman, his ideal partner, his significant other. And this is making him feel like a bit stalled. I think I don't know. The message I'm getting is that maybe he's not used to this. Maybe he's used to you being available to him a lot of the time. That if he reaches out, you respond rather quickly. Maybe he's feeling like this feels different. This feels like a change. And he's saying something's wrong. Like he feels like something's wrong because he hasn't heard from you. He's absolutely noticing it. He's feeling the stress or the opposition. Maybe he feels that he's being challenged by you to behave or operate differently. I also have the Two of Swords. This talks about being torn between two relationships. So this could be kind of that acknowledgement from him that he has created a divide between himself and you because of other, circumstances. And when I say relationships, I mean maybe between you, his romantic relationship, and maybe his family, a relative relationship. But basically, he feels stuck in the middle. He feels like, but you know what? I am getting that he feels like he's acknowledging this and he feels responsible. He feels like this is his responsibility. Like he's not putting any blame on you at all, Terry. Even though he may be hurt by your actions, it's like very much like I understand them. I think he's giving you grace. I think not that sounds kind of condescending. You should be the one giving him grace, but I think he's giving you understanding. He's saying I get it. I am undeserving and this is why she's doing this and I don't blame her. Like I don't think he has any ill will towards you or this. He's not holding resentment about it at all. You said he's so condescending. Oh God. Well, maybe I am picking up on his energy if he is condescending. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, but he's like, I get it. Like I'm giving her grace during this time. But again, there's also like this circling that goes on in his mind where I feel he tries to make excuses for how you are responding to him. And so while there's this like cognizant understanding and knowing that you're just doing what's best for you, there's also his ego that's fighting that and trying to make himself feel better. So then he's like thinking of excuses as to why you haven't reached out to him. Because I don't think that he really wants to accept that the reason why you're going no contact with him right now is strictly because of him and his actions. Because that requires that like makes him feel uncomfortable. That's discomfort for him to feel like he has all the blame on his shoulders. So he's of course going to try to make himself feel better by thinking of maybe other things that you could possibly be doing that I'll hear from her again. I'll hear from her again. That's what he's saying. Like I will, like she's probably just busy, you know. It's I'm sure it's not me. That kind of thing. So it's like he kind of goes back and forth in his head because again his ego is playing, like challenging his awareness. Because I think what it is that when he starts feeling uncomfortable and recognizing that he's at fault for this, then he's like, well, okay, but then that means that I have to do something about it. And he's like, I don't want to hold myself accountable because I'm not ready to face that issue. He is going to get to the point though, Terry. I'm getting that he's going to have a tower moment where he's going to have to stand up to his family and he's going to have to kind of put them in place. He's going to get to a tower moment where he feels like he has to stand up for himself and speak his mind because I think he just doesn't want to disappoint them. He'd rather disappoint you, which is like actually so upsetting. But I think he feels like maybe not unloved by them, but he feels like there's transactional love with his family. And if he doesn't show up for them, to be honest, I think he feels more like unconditional love from you than his family. So he feels like if he doesn't show up for them, then they're going to like not love him, which is probably not true, but that's how he feels. So yeah, that's what I've got, Terry. I know. You're welcome, Terry. All right, so next on my list is culture. Culture, I have you down for what looks like 2 mini readings. If you want to check in with me, I'm ready. Oh, here we go. I have to talk to her. Culture, let's see. Oh my gosh, culture, that's awful. Goodness gracious, that's not good. It's like a superiority complex culture. It's not necessarily jealousy. Like she doesn't want to be you. Do you get what I mean? I am getting that she's jealous of maybe certain aspects of who you are, maybe the fact that your life is just getting started and there could be kind of like changes or transitions. I'm also getting like hormonal issues as well with her. Um, but that's just enhancing the already ugliness that's there. That's not like what's creating her being so mean. That's just making it worse. But I feel like she's not like she doesn't want to trade places, you know. She's not like trying to be you, but I think there are certain aspects of your life that she's jealous of. She's jealous of your youth. She's jealous of the fact that maybe your life is just getting started. She's jealous of her age, how much older she is. um like feeling as though, you know, you're getting to like experience a lot of things for the first time. Maybe she's having trouble with her own mortality as well. And you know, seeing herself age every single day, maybe feeling like you're not there yet. And I think that unfortunately she's just an extremely immature person. And that she has her own things that she has to work out as well. She wants to feel like she's on the top or on top. We have the Five of Swords, so maybe she's just constantly in conflict with you because she doesn't really understand how to process her own feelings about her own mortality. Right? So she's getting older and she's kind of like bullying you, and it's like abusive and, you know, mean. I feel like you need to move out. If you're living with her, you need to move out. Yeah, she's you see the immaturity in her needing to feel on top. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So what you need to know, okay, we have the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. This is talking about karma. It's talking about a karmic relationship that you have. So if you believe in past lives, for example, it's indicating that there's karmic like situations that you guys have brought into this life together that need to play itself out. So there could have been like a dynamic maybe that needs to be balanced. So you live on your own. You should have clarified. You meant more symbolically. I think you need to, yeah, I think you need to kind of pull back your energy from her quite a bit. This feels karmic and it feels like it's a matter of you kind of setting your boundaries with her, because I don't think you really ever have set your boundaries. You may have expressed how you're feeling or how something's bothered you. For all I know, you haven't, and you just like kept everything all bottled up. Um, but she needs to feel that you have cut ties with this. There was tantrums, Jesus Christ. Um, I'm almost getting like you just need to move as far away from her as possible. Do you have other siblings that she only does this to you? Are you an only child? Well, yeah, because she's looking for a reaction from you. Remember I said bullying. That's what they do, is they're looking to disappoint you and upset you to make themselves feel better. This is like a big problem. Your parents should not be bullying you. That's so crazy to me. Okay, so there's the difference, I feel, is having a younger brother is not the same. They're saying magician, they're saying you need to gather your power, and I'm basically hearing like banish. Like banish her. Remove her from your energy altogether. Because this isn't good for you at all. I have the Six of Swords, which talks about moving forward without her, like finding some relief, overcoming hardship, healing. No contact. I mean, I think you need to completely like banish her from your life. And I think that if you do have circumstances where you all get together, it should be on your terms. So, for example, if there's a family event, it should be on your terms. It should be when you want to show up, when you want to arrive, when you want to leave. And I think also being separated from her is going to drive her absolutely crazy, but she needs exposure therapy because it almost seems like she not only wants to put you down, but she wants to control you as well. And I think you need to show her that that's not what's going to happen here. It seems like she likes being the center of attention. She likes being in control. And so you kind of have to not feed into that. So whatever that means for you. But yeah, I would go no contact for sure. I mean, anybody would tell you that too, you know. It's not just me. I feel like anybody in your life, your friends, a therapist, advisor of any sort, a life coach, a stranger, I feel like everybody would say like if this is how your relationship is with her, it is not healthy, it's toxic and it needs to stop. Culture too, it doesn't have to no contact doesn't mean permanently either. It doesn't mean forever. Okay? It could literally be like for your mental health, it could be like 1 month and see how that feels. You don't have to do anything permanently. It doesn't have to be this like black and white situation. It can just be milestones. You can just say, okay, I'll go no contact for a week. I'll go no contact for a month. No contact doesn't mean forever necessarily. It can be, but it doesn't it's not like, it doesn't go hand in hand for sure. You said she needs to be the center of attention. Yeah, for sure. But I have you down for another mini reading. What's your next question? Got it. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Glad that I could clear that up. Let's take a look. Culture. So I have the Wheel of Fortune culture, and what I'm picking up is that you're supposed to be triggering for other people, but not through your words or through your I don't know how to explain this. You are here to trigger people through your existence, through what you stand for, what you believe in, what your morals are, your overall energy. I feel like if there's like when I say trigger, I don't mean you're supposed to antagonize other people, okay? I don't mean that. You're not supposed to be an antagonist in people's lives. So if you feel like you can do better with that, then absolutely do that. But as far as your general presence in people's lives, no, you should not dim your light. You should not you're here to trigger people. if you believe in something and you're passionate about it and you're speaking about it, or the way that you show up in your life, how you treat other people, you know, being just basically existing and being you, that's okay if that triggers other people. That's what you're meant to do. That's what you're meant to be here for. Um, so, if you can come across in a less, if you can come across in a more like diplomatic way, if you can express yourself in a way that feels more like it has more warmth to it, and like if you're a very direct and blunt person, for example, if you don't filter yourself, of course you can work on that, but I still think your message should still be said. So maybe change the way you're saying it, but don't change the message. Do you get what I mean by that? But overall, though, I don't think you should change who you are. If your general presence, if you're walking in the room and somebody gets pissed off about that and they get annoyed by you just by you existing, good, let that happen. Because I think that that's what should be happening. I think that we, as human beings, we worry too much about offending other people. Can you come across tactfully? Can you come across nice? Yes, but don't delete the message because you're trying to make someone like you. If someone doesn't like you, then they don't like you, and it is what it is. Because you're being true to yourself. So yes, I understand. I don't need to be a troll. Let me know if you have any follow-up to that, because it was a yes or no question. I don't really know how to elaborate further on it, but if you have like a follow-up, let me know in relation to that question. Hey Val, I'm actually about to close down all my lists right now. The free list has been closed for about an hour and a half, but if you want to donate, let me know. Oh, it comes from your readers have said about your energy. I think you're amazing. I don't know. If you're triggering the readers, then that's their problem. I think your energy is great. So maybe it's something being reflected in them that they need to work on. Are you serious? I have never once thought like anything negative about you. I truly think that's a them problem. Yeah, you're welcome. That's so crazy to me. Cool. All right, girl. Well, I think that's it. I've come to the end of my list, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. But it was good seeing you again. And if anybody else is in here hanging out, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will be off on Monday, hence why I worked today. Trying to think. So yeah, I'll be back. You should see me back on Tuesday. Either here doing live readings or over on Instagram doing offline readings. Yeah, you're welcome, culture. Absolutely. They thought you were trolling. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry that happened. Have a good night.